Tainted Scarecrow.
Okay, so today for you guys I have a new video. It's going to be kind of a unboxing and then assembling of one of the Old Faithful quick assemble kits. Like I said, this is the Old Faithful holsters. I got this kit on one of their promotions. It was 20% off. I think normally it's $39, and then if you want black leather you add a couple bucks, and then if you want different colored kydex, which I think they have like maybe a dozen or so different colors, you add more. Anything. Anyway, what I went with was black leather on black kydex, and then after shipping and everything, I believe it's almost up to like 50 some bucks, but then with their coupon code knocked it down to basically the original price of the holster before shipping, which was $41.33. So this one is made specifically for the Glock 19. I'll show you what you guys get. You get a how to make the holster link, how to adjust it, how to wear it, break in, basically a thank you type note on the back. Then you also get your base piece of leather. There you can see the logo. Just gonna look at the leather here. As you can see, it's pre-punched for all your holes here for your clips, and then this would be where the kydex is gonna mount. Get that. And there's your pre-molded kydex. See here it says it's for G19. Now they also have, like I said, different colored kydex you can get. You can get different colored leather, brown, and then I think this was, you could get it in like Desert Digital, Woodland, the Urban Digital. You can get it in blue, green, pink, orange, a whole bunch of different colors. So there's a lot of color options you can get with that. Like I said, it's added cost. I think, excuse me, if you wanted to get different colored kydex, I think that added about $6 maybe to the overall price of the holster. So if you wanted that, you could do it. These are pieces of additional leather, scrap leather that they give you whenever you have to pound the T-nuts into this. You line these up, and then you're going to have to hit it with a hammer. I'll show you. I actually pre-watched, they have a video on how to put it together. Like I said, there's a link here on this paper of how to make your holster. So I went ahead and watched that before I did it to get an idea. Now they said, here's all your parts. They said you're actually going to have parts left over, which is for if your holster becomes looser, you might have to just change the screw size and stuff like that, but they supply plenty extra, they said, so that you can get what you need. You don't have to go out and buy it. You get the 2 steel clips here, and that's everything that's in the bag. So I'll separate this stuff out and then we'll get back to the video. Okay, so here I got everything separated out. Looks like I've got 5 5/8" screws with 5 spacers. I've got 7 1/2" screws with 7 spacers. 5, believe they said 3/8. Somewhere around there. And then the same with the spacers. And I got 7 finish washers here. And then we have 9 T-nuts. So here's the T-nuts. So this is what we're going to have to pound into the back of the holster. And then all the screws are hex heads. And they give you, obviously, the wrench to do it. So what you have to do, like I said, is you have to put the T-nut in like this. You can see that's how it sits. And what I'm going to have to do is put a piece of scrap leather behind it. Then here I have a rubber mallet. Actually, I'm going to have to do it the other way. Probably be better this way to do it. What I'll do is I'll just sandwich this other piece of leather under it just to be safe. I have the NRA mat there, but I don't know how good it'll be. You should get it so it's going to protrude. Alright, let's try it without that on the back. Okay, so I had to bring out the big dog to get my 32 ounce ball peen. The rubber headed mallet wasn't transferring enough energy, so I got one in. So one T-nut in, and I'm gonna go ahead and put these other ones in. Hopefully it goes alright. Yeah, that's much better. Sometimes you just have to have the right tool for the job. And that time I sure didn't. So, you guys get to see the learning process. Pound a couple of these in just to make sure they're in the whole way. Alright, so we got them all in. Okay, so next step in the process is I have my T-nuts installed. I'm going to use one of these rubber spacers, place that over the hole. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to get one of the 5/8 screws, and then here's one of the finish washers. Just going to put that on there. We're going to grab our piece of Kydex, put it through the corresponding hole. So I'm going to take this spacer and put it on here. Now you don't really have much to work with on here, the way it looks. But let's see if I can get it attached here, and then I'll show you guys that. Okay, so there we have all the spacers and the screws put in. Now, for this one, like, they give you so many different ones so that you can, you know, adjust it accordingly. I had to use my longest screws here and then my middle spacers. The longest screws combined with the biggest spacers didn't work. I could not reach the lip of the T-nuts to set them, so you know, you couldn't get them started. You could if you don't use the finish washers, but obviously I want to use the finish washers to give it a good clean look. So there you can see it. Now what I'm going to have to do is attach the clips. Now you can decide where you want these positioned. Obviously, you get one hole in your clip. So if you want it to ride higher, you're going to put it here, actually here, lower here, and this would be the medium ride height. So I'm going to mess around with some positioning, see what I come up with, and attach these, and then you guys can see the finished product. So as you can see here, guys, I have the holster completely assembled. The clips you can adjust the cant on basically by tilting them which way you want, whichever. It's up to you really. And there's even probably a little bit of play in them after you have them tightened down. Well, actually, I probably just don't have this one tightened enough. There we go. So, I have my G19 here. Let's go ahead and just check the tension. And they say to simulate your belt being on it, you can press down on it, basically like this, to simulate the tension from the belt. So, as you can see there, it's kind of hard for me to pull it out. So what I probably should do, that's not so bad that way, but like I said, whenever they want you to do it this way, it's a little bit tighter. What I'll probably do is tighten those down just a little bit, not too much. It's actually not too bad, and then I should be good. But just kind of wanted to show you the assembling portion for the Old Faithful holster. Now I will say the one thing I did forget to do is I forgot to install these two T-nuts here when I installed the other ones, which isn't really a big deal. I had to put it on a flat surface that was harder, and then I just basically had to make sure that the Kydex wasn't, you know, flat. I had to basically get an edge of something, place it like this so that the Kydex wasn't, you know, gonna get smashed whenever I tried to hammer it. But that would be the one thing I would suggest, is to make sure you get all those T-nuts installed first. And the other thing I would suggest is, if you can possibly do it, hammer this on concrete would be the best thing, I think, because that's going to allow the biggest transfer energy into those T-nuts. Because I was trying to do it here on this kitchen type table, and you know, it transfers a lot of energy back into the table, and you know, the table gives, and you might not get the best seating of those T-nuts. You might actually have them sticking down, or they might not be sticking out far enough. But overall, I think the assembly is fairly simple. Like I said, you get all these extra parts. I mean, you can see all the stuff I have left over. And then, like I said, that's the scrap stuff. But they give you a good amount of stuff. I mean, this is basically all for adjustability. So, you know, if it's obviously too tight or too loose or whatever, you know, if it wears and you find that it's loose and you actually can't put the screws to it and not have them sticking out the back and, you know, rubbing into you or something like that, you can go with the shorter screws, shorter spacers, that type of thing. So it's nice that they give you a range of stuff for it. Like I said, the leather's nice. Clips seem like they're nice. I don't have clips, but they seem fairly sturdy. You know, I have one-way pulls on my other holster, but it seems pretty nice. So like I said, for the price, you really can't beat it. The pre-assembled ones, I think, are in the $75–80 range. But if you get the assembled kit yourself, it's like $40. So it's, you know, roughly half price if you get them on a sale. Like I said, 20% off. And then the warranty with Old Faithful is if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back and you can keep the holster. Which, you know, a lot of people in the gun community are, not all, but, you know, I'd say most of the ones I've run across are fairly honest, so I don't think anybody would just buy the holster, say they didn't like it just to get their money back. So, yeah, that was the quick assemble holster from Old Faithful Holsters. That's the hip carry one. So, I hope you guys liked the video, and hopefully I'll have a wear and tear type, you know, video for you later on. So, that's going to be all for now.